What is up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be reviewing and breaking down The Flash Season 9, Episode 7. So guys, the episode starts with a look at Dreamer, who obviously is making a guest appearance in this episode. We see her walking around like a hangar with a bunch of random people everywhere, and she was hallucinating like spiders and crows for some reason. And you could tell that, this is in a dream, or more specifically, a nightmare in this first scene. But this is also where we see the hooded character's first appearance, whose eyes actually start to glow blue. So the first thought, of course, that came to my mind was, is the hooded character cobalt blue? Now that didn't exactly end up being the case, but I thought that could have been a cool way to introduce the character if they ended up doing that. But anyways, then we see Iris at CCC Media, where she begins to write that one article from Barry's map book back in episode 1 of this season, which is titled Nightmare Under Red Skies, which I initially thought might be a reference to like the finale of the show, but now that we see it here, it is a reference to all the Red Death stuff that happened, which does make sense. So yeah, we see Nia Nal come to Central City now, where she and Iris talk at CCC Media. She tells Iris that her powers are getting weaker, and just as that happens, the hooded character shows up again, and we also find out that only Dreamer can see her. But anyways, yeah, she is the person who puts Iris and Nia into their fever dream, and we see both of them in one of Iris's dreams, where she is the captain of CCPD. Now Iris also like takes down a couple of crooks in this dream as the captain of CCPD, and we also get a Leonard Snart reference, or more specifically a Snart siblings reference, which is pretty cool to see. Obviously they shouldn't have killed off the Snart sibling, or the Snart character, Leonard Snart rather, so that was pretty cool to hear about. But then we go to the next dream, where all of Team Flash is working at Jitters, which was honestly pretty funny. But then back in the real world, we see Barry rush to Iris and Nia's rescue, so he takes them to Star Labs, and Barry says that he should call anyone from Team Supergirl, as obviously they would know more about Nia's powers. And when Chester says that all of Team Supergirl is off-world, Barry says he is going to call the quote-unquote League, and mentioning Cisco and John Diggle as potential people he could call. Obviously, when he says League, Barry is referring to the Justice League, which I thought was a really cool reference, which obviously it has been referenced more in later seasons of The Flash, but I think that was still cool. But then Iris and Nia find themselves back in that hangar, and we see the hooded figure once again. So they run away, but the hooded character just like appears out of nowhere and sends them to another dream. So obviously, if Iris doesn't come out of her coma that she's obviously in, there could be serious problems with Nora, who Iris is obviously pregnant with. Now at Star Labs, we also see the hooded woman, and I have to say this, I should have mentioned this earlier. How can they tell that it's a woman? Unless Dreamer can like read minds or like read genders, like how can they tell it's a woman? It's literally like the hooded like costume is so baggy. There's no evidence to support it being a woman. I just found that kind of ridiculous. But anyways, the hooded woman is like in Star Labs for whatever reason, and Cecile can somehow sense her and says that the hooded woman is actually a guardian angel, which is really stupid. So Nia and Iris eventually escape their fever dream, and we also find out that the hooded character is Dreamer's grandma. This hooded character was teased in the trailer for The Flash Season 9 and didn't even have anything to do with The Flash. That is so lame and disappointing. Like, is that a crime? Like, what? That is so stupid. And why is this episode about Dreamer? It's the final season of The Flash. You got 13 episodes, and you're going to dedicate one of them to a Supergirl character. That is ridiculous. That is awful. That is terrible. I don't know what else to say about that. And again, in this episode, Barry didn't use his speed. He did not use his speed. It is the final season. Come on, we want to see fan service. This is not fan service. This is Eric Wallace doing whatever he wants, not listening to any of the fans. And I'm not even kidding. I think Barry may have had the least amount of lines in this episode. This is just ridiculous. This is on par with Season 7 right now. This is a terrible start to The Flash Season 9. And before you guys say anything about this in the comments, I'm totally fine with Dreamer being in an episode of The Flash. I'm totally fine with her being in an episode of The Flash, the final season. I just don't want the episode to just be focused on her and ignore the main character of the show. That's just absolutely ridiculous. And I will still say this episode was better than episode 6, just because Barry actually kind of existed in this episode. But this episode was still just awful. Now, it is up to 2 episodes now this season, where I would just rather have less episodes in the season than actually watch these 2 episodes, because these were just atrocious. So I'm just really hoping that in episode 9 or maybe even starting in episode 8 we get some really good fan service, because right now this season is pretty terrible. I'm not going to lie. I do not like the start to The Flash season 9 whatsoever. But anyways, I'd say that's about it, guys. Thanks for watching. Make sure to comment your thoughts on this video down below, as well as your thoughts on the episode. What did you guys think of it? And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video.